Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with this daily update, the last on the week. It is Friday, 25th of April, and in this educational video where there's no recommendation advice whatsoever, we'll start with Meta today. Meta traded higher in the after hours to just around 547.48 as indicated by this line here. There is some resistance here at 557 and 77. A break above that could see a test resistance at 588, but as we can see here on the moving averages, the 55 has broken below the 100. That is not a good signal. We have strong we have the 200 moving average just around 500. Excuse me, 578. That will also add a little bit to the overhead resistance. However, there is divergence, as we can see here on the RSI. RSI has been rising where market moved lower, so there was some downtrend exhaustion. So it seems like maybe we should have a base foundation, building a foundation down here. But let's see if it starts closing this gap we saw here from earlier this week. We could see another pressure towards the previous lows. Also, Alphabet with earnings last night. Alphabet has traded up around 168 in the aftermarket, as illustrated by this horizontal line here. There is some really strong overhead resistance. We have the 55 moving average breaking below the declining 100, and also here the 200. So we had a dead cross. So we do have strong resistance in this area around 172, 173. I'm not quite sure we will get up there really, and it will be interesting where we'll end tonight. Will we end above or below this level here at 164? So that could be key if it's actually is sliding back, depending on what how the market reacts on the short term. So a little bit under pressure still, or quite a big actually. Pretty strong move yesterday in US session. S&P 500 tested at very few points from to test the little gap area here at 5,493. If it does close above it, meaning if it closes above 5,522, there could be further upside potential. But we also have to remember we do have this dead cross up here. And let me see if I can just adjust that a little bit. But anyway, here it is. That dead cross there, that's really weighing on it. There's no divergence on the RSI. It could still bounce further, but it will be interesting to see and very key to watch the 60 threshold here. Will it actually close above or be rejected? And currently, market is trading just around this minor resistance here. The stronger one is, of course, the upper part of the gap. Nasdaq 100. Let's go to the cash index. Also closed just below its resistance in 19,234. Pre-market, it's trading above a little bit here. But still there's negative sentiment on the RSI, no divergence. So let's see if it's just a short-term corrective move. And if we go back to the cash index, well, there's strong overhead resistance in the area, just around 20,000, 20,219. We have Dow Jones, fairly a good day yesterday also, but still a bit of way up to its gap to close this one. So not much to say really. In Europe, really strong bounce we have seen after it broke above the 5,000 resistance, and trading a little bit higher, struggling now. You can also see RSI getting close to 60 threshold. That would be key. Can it close above or not? We could still see a push up to 5,200, 5,230, where we have some resistance, but the 100 moving average will also give it a little bit of a hard time here. So it can be it might be a little bit stretched, but for now we are in an uptrend. Short term, the key will be, can we actually continue? It is stalling a little bit here, and we can see on the EU50 CFD/future. Well, we are trading around the 61.8 retracement of 5,139. So that is a little bit of a struggling going on for the futures. The DAX has actually moved after we talked about it after it closed above, and it actually jumped much higher and trying to get back above this resistance here and the 55 moving average, but that is giving a little bit of a hard time. If it can't close above that, then maybe we could see a little bit of a setback here the next few days. And RSI still hasn't closed above 60 threshold, so that could be key for the next few weeks. If it can't close above that resistance and RSI cannot close above 60 threshold, then we can see a setback. Here we can see on the GR40 CFD, while it's trading around its resistance at 22,116. Euro dollar, well, still in correction mode, can still test the support area here at 112.40.50 level. Still in a bullish trend, a little bit stressed as indicated by the RSI. So keep an eye on this level there. Sterling dollar also in correction mode, could still correct down to 131.50, but is in a bullish trend, but it has weakened as we can see here. The RSI is not really confirming that it should push higher. We can see that. Let's see here. You can see it's actually slightly rising, so we should see it moving higher, but it is struggling at the moment. If we're looking at the weekly, we can see why there is a really strong resistance here at 134.35, which is key to break. The euro sterling is testing support at 85.19. Once again, if it takes it out, then we could see a sell-off down to 84.65. Dollar yen bouncing, still going on, almost up to the 38.2 retracement. I think it will do it. At 144.20. If it takes out, well, then there we have some resistance. I will remove this one because it's not that strong resistance, but there could be a counter bounce or bounce up to the 146.50, 146.90 level here, which is also around the 61.8 retracement. But it is struggling a little bit, and there is no divergence on the RSI, as we can see. It is lower here, so it's actually confirming this downtrend. So if it turns around and takes out 140 once again, then we are looking at 139. Euro yen pushing higher, could move up to test the 164, possibly all the way up to 165. But again, it has been strong. But we are in a positive sentiment. You can see RSI has lastly been above 60 threshold, so we're still in a positive sentiment. So I think we'll see a push towards 164, possibly 165. The Aussie yen pair testing resistance here 91.80. Can it push higher to 93.15? We talked about it, but then we have the 55 moving average coming down there, also adding to the resistance there. And if it breaks below 89.64, well, then downtrend is resuming. Sterling yen, well, pushing higher towards the 61.8 retracement, 191.55, and resistance here at 192. It could be reached, but it will be a struggle, no question about it. And if it starts sliding back below 190, well, then the support here at 187.40, 45 could come under pressure. A break below that, downtrend has resumed. Aussie dollar still hovering around this support resistance pivot here at 63.90. I still believe we'll see it pushing higher towards 65, possibly 65.5, where we have some strong resistance. But we can also see that the 200 moving average coming down. They're kind of putting a lid on the upside momentum, at least for now. But the 55 moving average has turned around, the 21 coming up here, and the 100 flat. So there is a little bit of base down here at 63, where it could dip down to, but I still think we'll see it push a little bit higher. Dollar Canada, building a base down here around 138. So if it takes out the lows here from about a week, from a few days ago, earlier this week, I think 21st, yes, 137.80. Then there's the potential down to 137, 136.5. But we could bounce up to the 38.2 retracement of 140.70. The sterling Canada, I still believe we'll see it push higher, but we need confirmation because the RSI is still negative sentiment after being below 40. it's been rejected twice here at 60 threshold. It needs to break above and close above to build higher levels, and I think it will do it. We can see the 55 moving average coming up here, the 100 also giving some support. Excuse me. So I think we will see a push higher. We are above the cloud. We also higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So I think we'll see eventually 186, 186 and a half. And the Swiss pairs, Euro-Swiss keeps bouncing. I think we'll see it pushing towards 61.8 retracement and 94.75, possibly to just below 95, where we have this resistance and the cloud resistance also. And that will be key also here. What will happen with the RSI? What will it close above 60 threshold or not? Will it be rejected? If being rejected, we can see a setback. We can see the 100 moving average still declining, so there's still some dragging it. So I think we'll see it maybe spiking up to this level here, just below 95, and then we will see it setting back again. The dollar Swiss also in bouncing mode, and it could bounce higher than the 38.2 retracement, which is almost reached. If it moves above that and above 84, well, then there is potential up to 61.8 retracement at 85.45. But it will be a struggle, no question about it. But we do have divergence on the RSI, as you can see. You can see that the RSI values have been rising, whereas the dollar Swiss pair has been declining. So that was an exhaustive move. We should have this correction, just a question about how big it will be. The dollar index, there's no divergence on that one. It's still potential lower, so there's a little bit a mismatch between some of the key pairs really. Strong resistance in this gap area here between 100.32 and 100.74. That can be a bit of strong. I think we will see it test at least the lower level of the gap there, but I don't think we could see it sliding back. Gold is still trying to test this 32 retracement here at 3,292. It dipped below, it actually closed below, so we could see, I think we could see a push down to the 61.8 at 3,164, especially if the stock market becomes a little bit more calm in the coming week or so. So let's see. We are still in a bullish trend, and even if we test this and bounce back, then we will still be in a bullish trend with a potential higher. But the RSI did show some divergence, a slightly divergence. This level here is a little bit lower than this level here, so we are in for a correction. I think it will take a little bit more time before the next push higher on gold, if we actually get it. But there is potential up to 3,800 on gold. On silver, interesting that it's forming currently, at least. It's in the process, so we don't know that, but it's forming a top and reversal pattern above the 786 retracement and above the cloud. The RSI, however, never closed above 60 threshold, so that will be a struggle. However, if it takes out the peak from today, the highest price from today, I think we'll see a push up to 34.60. But let's see if we get this. We have a bullish candle, we have a doji, and then we have a bearish candle. If we end the day with a bearish candle, well, then we could see silver sliding back to 32 level again. So a little bit indecisive there, a little bit in a limbo, to be honest. But let's see where the day ends. We have the copper future. Copper future did close above the 61.8 threshold. But now it's setting back, and we can see it's really key to watch out for or keep an eye on RSI, because it will confirm the momentum on up. And here it got rejected also a 60 threshold. It actually did, must have tested it yesterday, and then it got rejected, and now we are sliding back again. So we could see a setback to maybe 460, at least 470. On the crude oil situation, not much news to say. If it takes out 60 spot 45, then downtrend is resuming, and RSI already and still in the negative sentiment, no divergence, indicating we could see lower levels. But if it takes out 65.25 here, well, then we could see a push up to around 68.60. Brent crude oil that got rejected here, also at 68.68, just below the 61.8 retracement. If it takes out 63.79, and I would say 63.75, it could dip below. Then downtrend has resumed. And European nat gas, so that's gas, just above the previous little trough here at 32.54. If it takes it out, we could see a push down to 30 euros. And the US nat gas, well, it's already, there was no bounce from this support. It's just moving straight through it. 276 is next support. Treasury yield, really not much going on. If it takes out 425 and the lows here from a couple of days ago, 425, obviously I would just adjust this. Well, then there could be further downside, and I think it is a good idea just to check. Well, that really did materialize, that potential bullish trend, despite the fact that RSI actually did close above 60 threshold. But let's see, if it takes out 425, then suddenly we could be looking at 410 again. Let's look at the actual future. What did it do? Did it dip below there? It did dip below. So let's just clean this up. It has been a while since I've been looking at it. So let's see what can be done here. If it takes out the future, this is the future we are talking about. If it takes out 111.19, then a downtrend has been cancelled, and we are in a bullish trend, and we are already above the cloud, so we could see a push higher, meaning lower yields. The 2-year, well, can't really make up its mind, so it's just dancing around a lot. So let's just move on to the European yields. The 10-year euro yields is still declining and could still see it dropping to 240, 237. We have the UK support here at 447. That will be key. So keep an eye on that if you're trading UK yields. Moving on to Bitcoin, that has stalled just below the resistance at 95.30, as you can see here. If it takes out a 95.130, well, then there's potential up to around 100,000 again. So that could be key. We're still positive sentiment, but it's stalling a little bit. We could see a little bit of setback, but I wouldn't be surprised if it takes it out to the upside. Ethereum pausing just below the 55 moving average and around the support here at 1,755. There is possibly a push up to 2,000, maybe 2,100, but that will also rely on the 60 threshold RSI being broken or not. For now, still negative sentiment. All right, that's all for today and for this week. Have a nice day and nice weekend when you get to there.